Okay, we're back. Now, I'm going to show you guys my shirt I'm wearing today too. I can only please one person a day. Today isn't your day. Tomorrow doesn't look good either. Oh, okay. Okay, back to my elevator. Sitting there doing this. If this is happening to you, man, you gotta address it. I'm fixing to tell you how to do it. Okay, so what Redmond told me to do, John Redmond from Rise and Poppy, super nice guy, awesome jet pilot. What he told me to do was I needed to lower my linkage on my servo arm. Okay, but I didn't have no screw hole down there. You know, and that's the only servo horns I had, and there was no hole down there. You know, and so I said, okay, John, thanks a lot. You know, appreciate all this. I'll see what I can do. You know, get that lowered and send him out of the pits. No, we talked about it for a little bit. Then as soon as he left, I went and got Ken. Okay, now Ken I knew from my racing days. He recognized me right off, me and my half-scale GB. Oh yeah, Ken seen my GB fly. From back in my USRA days with my quarter-scale Tsunami with a Herb Branson in it. 280cc Herb Branson. But anyway, oh, I went and got Ken. Didn't say anything about Redmond being there at all. Just kind of, you know, went over, told Ken was fresh. We got a fresh guy that, you know, and man, he's a super nice guy, man. Super nice, super smart about this stuff. You know, these are top-notch guys, man. I mean, these are the cream of the crop. These Horizon guys, you know, we've seen them fly. We know about them. These guys know what they're talking about. So I went over and got Ken. Told him what was going on. You know, he got to looking at my, you know, the setup I had. He told me the same thing. He said, lower that on your servo arm. You know, so instead of, you know, being top to top, we're going from the elevator to halfway down on the elevator. You know, and these ain't real long horns I got on there, people. They're only about like this. And another thing is I'm gaining the mechanical advantage on the torque too, because when you go head to head like this, you know you got the throw dialed way down inside your transmitter, and you know we've talked about that before, a long time ago. But anytime you got to lower the throw way down, you're losing torque. You're losing a mechanical advantage. When you lower that on your servo arm, you know, you gain a big mechanical advantage. When you go from out here to way down there, you gain a big advantage. Okay, so I took them whole elevator mechanisms out, drilled and tapped both horns because there was no screw holes down there. I drilled them out and tapped them right there, baby, and put it back together. Zero slop in the stab. Zero. But anyway, when it had that slop, with that dead, when that chattered, that sit there and did this, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And by the time them things started fluttering, them elevators had that much slop in them. You know, on the second flight. And so that's what happened to them servos. But them Horizon guys told me, it's Bob, if you move that arm down, we will replace them servos. Swap them out. Brand new ones. But they didn't want to do it if I was going to put them servos in the same place, and because it would just ruin them servos too. You know, on 2 flights, people, them was brand new servos. Brand new out of the package. You know, so, and that was the second flight. You know, so that is what did it. If you got a lot of slop in your stuff, bring them arms down on your elevator, man. Especially when you got heavy elevators. And also now when I turn my radio off, my elevators don't fall down no more. They stay up. Which means when you turn on your radio, it ain't, them servos ain't going bam every time. having to lift them elevators up. You know, and I think that's what stretches them gears apart too. But okay, we got that fixed. Zero slop. Them elevators were tight. I got them all Loctited. I put bigger washers on the bolts, man. I went in there with a little bitty Allen wrench, you know, the little one to get in there and just really torque it instead of just the driver, you know. Got them things tight. Went to take off. Ollie took off. The dang rudder. All that violent shaking of them elevators. I loosened up that rudder. Yeah, believe it or not, that's what happened. But he took off again, man, and that rudder just started going nuts. He brought that, you know, he slows that airplane down and brings it around and lands it, you know, and I was shocked at how slow he had that 70-pound airplane full of fuel. How slow he had that going in the air and just brought it around and landed it. You know, the second two landings were a lot better because he did not use flap. Okay, but anyway, we got 3 minutes left and I got to go over these flaps. I took them rudders off. First I just tried to tighten everything up, and where the posts go in, when that thing was fluttering, this whole thing was fluttering. It kind of made them holes a little bigger. And it just really wasn't tightened up, so I took them off and glued them on, and I thought that was a great idea. And so the rudder problem's fixed. So basically this plane's ready to go again. But I gotta show you this. Okay, we gotta go over these wings. Okay, what the issue is when these things are landing, when this thing's landing, it's wanting to tip stall. Okay, with the flaps down. But you see how this is built with washout in it? I don't know how good you guys can see that or not. But these wings are built with washout in them. What washout is, for you guys that don't know, is that back end twists up a little bit. Okay? With this full flap, what it's doing is it's canceling out our washout, is what it's doing. The flap is great for the inside of the wing. Out here we got your washout. It's bad because, you know, that washout's designed in there. When that flap goes down, there goes your washout. Okay, that's why in all these videos you want to see that wing drop on them landings. That's why it's wanting to tip stall. So what Ollie told me, he goes, Bob, what I would do if this airplane was mine. How much time we got left? 2 minutes. He would cut this flap right here. Okay, and I already got my servo was already on that side. See, I got two 8711s right there. So all I'd have to do is cut that. But he goes, he would cut that and put a little crow. Put a little crow in that wing. You know, make that aileron come up just a little bit. It wouldn't be an aileron, but it looked like one. And make it come up a little bit, have the flaps go down. He said, Bob, the airplane would land so much better. It would just grease in. And then I was talking to Lowell, and he knows a buddy that used to fly these. And he said the real Tomcats had that same problem and started cutting their flaps there himself. And themselves, you know, because inboard flaps are great, wingtip flaps are bad. So I'm thinking I'm going to stew on it for a while, but I think I'm going to cut that. Okay? I'd like to hear your guys' input on that flap situation. All he said, this plane would land so much better. He told me, he goes, Bob, resist the urge to use the flap. He said, not even half flap for landing. The first time he landed it, that squirrely, that was half flap. The second 2 times he landed it, it was no flap. It greased in both times. But I got a bunch of good videos, man. I'm going to load up the next few days. And I got a bunch of videos. I had to redeem myself from Texas. But I sure hope you guys like them. I'm going to load them for you.